Good morning, YouTube. Welcome back to the vlog. It is the 7th of October, which means I'm just a cool... So it's 12 days out yesterday, 11 days out, and it's sort of the first official day of taper. Taper technically started yesterday on Monday, but it was a complete rest day. I know, a rest day. Haven't had one of them in a while. Well, I did on holiday, but yeah, it's been a while since I've sort of had one of those programmed in. I think since like the start of the year, I can count on my hand. Like I've trained like 7 days a week, and obviously rest is important, recovery is important. But when you take on the challenge of 0 to Ironman in less than 9 months, you got a lot of fucking work to do, and more work than anyone else. So yeah, it's been sort of non-stop training, and now here we are. First week of taper. So we just got the cool, is it 8 hours this week? Let me have a look. Yeah, it's about 8 hours 15, but I'm going to add probably a few lifting sessions onto that. But I usually lift Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I did take yesterday off just because he probably does want me to have some like complete rest days in there. So I took that as complete rest. Today I've got on the menu, I've got an hour swim, 30-minute easy run, absolute DOS. Tomorrow, Wednesday, I've got an hour and 15 easy ride. Thursday, hour swim, 45-minute easy run with strides. Friday, rest day. Saturday, 2 hour 30 easy ride, but I'll do it on Sunday just because I've got to go to work. And then, to be fair, I could do that easy ride before work because it's so short. And then Sunday, I've got an hour and 15 build run, which is just utter bliss. It's weird how, like, you become so triathlon Ironman pilled and consume so much content of people doing ultras, these crazy endurance events, that now you're like, oh, 8 hour week. You're like, oh, that's an absolute doddle. That's like nothing. And that's still, before I started this, I was only training 3 days a week, no cardio, just lifting. And that was about 2.5 hours, 3 hours per week in 3 lifting sessions. So I'm still like, what, triple what I was doing, maybe over triple, and I'm like, oh, that's a doddle. But when you've been training, probably my most consistent weeks, probably like 12, 13, 14 hours, especially starting with my new coach, and I think I was averaging about the same when I was coaching myself, and then before it's slightly less because when I started my first coach, it was like I started from ground zero, but I think one of my first weeks was like 8 or 9 hours, so it's definitely been consistent. And one thing I realized as well from doing this is like, it's not about those, like, you know, doing fucking a 25-hour week. Is about just these consistent, 12, 13, 14, 15-hour weeks. Nothing crazy, but just doing that consistently over a period of time. And that's why even towards the end, like last week, I was on runs and I was like trying to hit a pace. And I was like, this pace is actually feeling harder to hit than it was months ago. And that's not because I've got worse. There's no way I've got worse, but it's just because the fatigue you build up and just constantly running, constantly training hard. I'm doing like a leg session, and then the next day doing like a hard hill run, and then I'm doing, intervals on the bike, and then I'm doing a run, and then I'm doing a long ride, and it's just day after day after day, and this shit builds up. So the goal of this taper isn't to do anything crazy. It's not about complete rest, and at the same time, it's not about going fucking crazy. It's about smart training, managing my load, and just letting my body absorb and recover from all the work that it's done. So I'm looking forward to seeing the difference this taper makes, because, yeah, like I said, the last few weeks, I started to feel it like in some of my runs, like when I was trying to hit paces, like my legs just felt heavy. I felt quite tired most of the time, but nothing crazy. Not like, oh my God, this is the hardest thing in the world. This is the hardest thing I've ever done. It's hard, but it's not like, not to downplay it, but I think a conversation for another story is like how I compare hard diets previously. Because the reason why I thought I could do this challenge is because, I hate calling it a challenge. It sounds like I'm doing like a sort of tough mudder, but I'm not. The reason I thought I could do this because I've done hard diets like every year since I've been in the gym. I'd bulk for like 9 months and I'd cut really hard for like 3 months, and that is just like, that's a different hard in itself. It's like constant. It's like, you wake up, you're hungry, you've got to go and do an hour of fasted cardio, you come back, you're eating fuck all, and then you've got to go to the gym, and then you've got to carry on with your work day, and it's just like, it's like never ending. Where there's some respite, it's like you finish your training session, you just can sort of can't eat what you want, but you sort of can in a way. When you've like done a 6-hour ride, you can sort of eat what you want, so there is some respite. Whereas when you're doing like a hard diet, it just feels like it's fucking constant and there's no end. So yeah, we're here, man. It's surreal for sure. It's surreal. Doesn't feel like, never sort of felt like I'd get here. And I've said it so many times, and I'll continue to say it. It's sort of like when you just focus on what's in front of you. Like I was like, right. When I started this, I never really thought about the Ironman. I never thought about the race day. Now I'm thinking more about race day, only 2 weeks out. But every now and again it crossed my mind, but I didn't think about it. Too many people focus on the end goal and not what's in front of them. What leads you to the end goal is what's in front of you. Like, it doesn't, 2 weeks time doesn't fucking matter from now. You know, when you start, it's about what's doing in front of you. Right, what have I got to do today? Like today, I've got to swim and I've got to run. That's what matters. I need to make sure I swim and I run and I get my meals in and I get a good night's sleep, and that's it. You know, you just break it down, break everything down into today. So today, that's what I've got to do. Go to bed tonight, wake up in the morning, what have I got to do? I've got a bike session tomorrow and I'm going to lift. So that's what I've got to do tomorrow, and I've got to work and I've got to do this. But you focus on each day at hand, and before long, you know, the days turn into weeks, the weeks turns into months, the months turns into years, and then you are the person that's consistent. It becomes part of your life. But it doesn't if you're like, oh, I want to get, you know, it's like me at the start, oh, I want to get sub 10 in my first Ironman. It doesn't fucking matter. You're so far off the goal. Like, I was so far off, I didn't even think about it. Couldn't even fucking swim. So I was so far off the goal, I never even bothered to think about that. What I bothered to think about was what the fuck is in front of me and how the fuck can I find swimming lessons, essentially, because I needed them. So, you know, focus on what's in front of you and you'll be surprised at what you can do in a relatively short period of time. Like, I think I worked it out the other day. Like, all this time I've been like, Ironman in less than 10 months. It's actually fucking 9 months. I think my first run was the 20th, I think it was the 20th of January 2025, and I'll be doing the Ironman on the 18th of October. So that is just shy of 9 months, which is cool saying. Less than 9 months, I can say. But well, we can call it 9 months, but yeah. Couch to Ironman in less than 9 months, which is just insane. And I know a lot of people be like, oh, did you actually run? Like, I hadn't. Like, you can probably scroll down most of my Instagram. Like, I've been on Instagram since my first competition, I think, when I first competed. So there's probably thousands of posts on my other Instagram. Never seen me running. The only time I do cardio is when I was dieting, and I would do the elliptical or the Stairmaster. Wouldn't fucking run, not a chance. So yeah, it's crazy the progress you can make. But what we've got after a nice little ramble, and the reason why I ramble, like, it's probably fucking boring to listen to, but I actually don't care because I don't get crazy amount of views, and this is going to be so cool to look back on when I'm just speaking my voice. And one thing that I'm glad I did was the first week I trained, I vlogged all of it on this camera, so we've got some gold on here, which I haven't looked back on, but it will be good to look back on at the time. So today, the time now is currently 9:30. I'm going to get on with, as you know, some editing. I need to catch my tail with YouTube. I need to get up to date with my YouTube editing. I've got videos to edit to go out on Instagram, TikTok, all that sort of stuff. And then I'm going to my friend Toby's house, where I should be. I know I said this the other day, but he was ill and didn't want to make me ill, which I very much appreciate. But going to his house at about 10:30, 11, and he's going to fit my new wheels that are sat in the corner of my room. So sort of looking forward to get those on, because those will be like ready for race day. I'll get a few rides in them, and then we can be ready for race day. And yeah, got the swim, got the run, and I'll just take you through what I'm doing. I've already had my breakfast. I had a massive bowl of oats. I usually have eggs for breakfast. But I had a massive bowl of oats just because I fancied it, and then I got like 3/4 away from my oats, and I had like banana in it, and I had chocolate protein. It was just so sickly. I was like, whoa, fuck. But got that done. Gonna crack on with a bit of work now, and then I've been allowed out of my dungeon, aka my room. Got some good work done actually, and I ordered my first tri suit. So that's some great news. I got a massive deal as well, so I'm very happy with that. Essentially, I'll run you down quickly. I wanted a 2XU tri suit, and they've got like a core one which is like 120 quid. Not in stock anywhere in a medium, and I emailed them. They don't get it in stock until December, which is obviously no good. I wasn't really looking at spending like 200 quid, but then I was like, So I was looking at other places. There's a place called Tri-Fit Athletic, which I'd been recommended to. Looked at their stuff. I was thinking that they didn't have like side pockets, and their back pockets didn't look great, like didn't look big enough, which obviously I don't know until I get it. But yeah, so I was like, oh, I don't know what to get, obviously time is running out. And then I looked at Tri-Fit Athletics, like a more expensive one. I was like, 195, you get 15% off. I'm like, only makes it like 165. I was like, I may as well like pay a little bit extra whilst I'm here instead of getting like a cheaper one and having to upgrade it. So I was like, oh, I'll do that. I was like, oh, for 195, this is when you start getting, oh, for an extra 10 or for an extra 30 quid. And I was like, oh, some reason I really like 2XU stuff. The Tri-Fit Athletic one is probably better because they're newer to market and they're like small business. They really care about their stuff, whereas 2XU is a bit more mass. And they're one that I really like the look of. Like, might not be as good, but I really like the look of it. And I like their branding. It was £200. I was like, oh, then you start like, on an extra 5, you get this, and they do 15% off as well. So that makes like, what, like 170. So I was like, oh, I can stretch to that. And then I found it for 145 on Sigma Sports, and they do 10% off. I was like, surely the 10% off isn't going to work on this. It was maybe a bit more, but the 10% brought it down to 135 in medium, which is my size. So I was like, I nabbed that up and paid for next day delivery, so it should be here tomorrow. 7 quid, which is unlike me. Yeah, buzzing to get that. I went back on their site after and I got the last one, so yeah, fingers crossed it fits. But it was the 2XU Hex Aero short sleeve tri-suit, black and white. So yeah, buzzing to get that. 134 quid. It's a £200 tri-suit, so I picked an absolute touch there, and it pays to be stingy and it pays to wait because, well, I don't want to speak too soon. It could not come, or I don't know, whatever. But yeah, out of the content factory now. Uploaded a YouTube video, edited a vlog that's well overdue on my phone of my longest brick session, which was like last Sunday. So I need to get that up, need to do the voiceover, and then I'm going to Toby's in about, oh god, about half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm just having a bit of lunch. Obviously I'm trying to eat well, and my mum brought me this from like the oh my god, look at that, it's gonna be so messy. Brought me this from like the sort of bakery. I love that when it's not like, you know, everything's always so posh, it's so made up now, whereas this is like, you go get a baguette, put the filling in it, job done. My mouth is literally watering. I'm so hungry. So yeah, I'm gonna have this, maybe finish my video, and then we're gonna go hopefully fit my wheels and sort my bike out, sort my bike box out. So it's a pretty important day, and I'll take you along with me. But I'm going to enjoy this. Not going to show you because it'd be so messy, and it's a state. I'll get in a state when I eat. So yeah, see you soon. Here we have it. The bike is sorted. Hopefully I'm not too silhouetted. You want to hear this hub? Much time has passed. It's now 6:20. The wheels took a bit longer than expected, but shout out to Toby for doing this for me, because as some of you may know, I rode BMX a lot when I was younger, so I just assumed, like, I've changed many a BMX wheels in my time, and then changing these was a lot more complicated than I thought. Like, when the cassette come off, like, you needed a tool for that, and then like a chain whip, and then that all come off, and then he took my chain off, soaked that, and then we had a few issues, needed like a washer to get that in, and then the front we couldn't get done, and we had to undo the brake pads, undo the calipers, get that realigned. It was just a lot more laborious, and thank God he helped me with that, because honestly I would have had no idea. So I would have taken my bike apart and had no idea how to get it back together. So yeah, shout out Toby for that. But I'm so happy with these wheels. So I've got these are from AliExpress, by the way. They cost me 250 quid plus 70 quid postage. Carbon wheels, 50mm deep, and I've got some AliExpress TPU inner tubes in those as well. So I really want to ride it now. Now I've got all sorted. I'm like, I want to ride it now, but I'm not going to ride it now. I'm going to ride it tomorrow. So as you know, I was meant to swim and run today, but I don't like swimming in the evening, and then I close the pool early, and then it's busy. It's like, it's a nightmare basically. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my 2 sessions done today. I'm going to get a lift and a run, because I was going to cycle and run, cycle and lift tomorrow. So I bring the lift to today, run, lift, and then I can do that all at once at the gym. And I'm going to cycle tomorrow, test out the bike, and then I'll do my swim session tomorrow and get that done sort of early doors. I've got still a lot of things to do and sort out, but I'm very happy that I've got these wheels on. Bike sorted, going to pick up my bike box from Toby in a few days. I couldn't fit it in my car essentially, but yeah, bike sorted, checked it all out for me, brakes all work, so I gave it a little like check over for me. I'm going to give it a ride tomorrow, test this all sound, and then I've got one more ride over the weekend, and then we'll be putting it into the bike box. But yeah, it's been a productive day. Obviously got the tri-seat as well, so that should come tomorrow. So a lot of things coming together. So all in the last few weeks, all the training's come together, and now all of this sort of shit's coming together. So I'm very happy with these wheels and how they look. And if I die from Chinese carbon wheels, then I die, but at least my hub sounds nice, and at least my bike looks nice. But it's going to look 10 times nicer when I don't have these stupid, like the bags and these bars just ruin it. It makes it look like a bike packing bike, like I've got so much on it. But it's necessary to have my tools in here. I need a dual bottle cage holder, which I've got inside as well, to put that on, and then this is going to carry stuff on, and then obviously the TT bars are as necessary. But yeah, very happy with that, and it saves me a bit of weight as well, so I may be even faster. But I'm gonna head to the gym now, train full body, quick session, and then get an hour, half an hour run done, so nice and easy just after my session as well.